Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In my previous video, I have told you that I will be taking the crash course or the lecture series relating to the political science that will be applicable or useful for the students or aspirants of APSC and the UPSC examination. And yes, it can be helpful for the NET examination, that is NTA NET examination, and also for the students, those who are pursuing their graduation and masters in political science. So today in my first lecture, what I will talk is about the political theory. In one of my videos, I have given an overview of the syllabus of APSC examination, and on that political science and international relations syllabus has also been overviewed there. So I will give that link in the description below. Please go through that, or else you can just download the syllabus related to the men's political science and international relations. So you can find that in the first topic itself, you will find about political theory, its definitions and the approaches. So here today I will talk only about the introduction of the political theory. I'll write in the short form about the political theory. Before, in one line I cannot explain about the political theory. For that we need to analyze it. This is how the examiner also will see how you write your paper and how you can present your thoughts in the paper. So for that, I write the two terms, that is facts and the theory. So when we talk about theory, we feel that it's only about the description or the explanation that we need to remember, in our mind. Like, it doesn't have any value for in the practical life, but it's wrong. I'll tell you how it is very helpful. Facts. Now when we talk about the facts, it's all about the practical, how it can be applied instantly, in our life or in the practical life. Now these three things are interrelated. Now let me talk about the politics. After that I will try to connect these three terms with each other. So when we talk about the politics, we think that politics has to do only with the power, and only with the domination. Yeah, these things are interrelated, but when we talk about the politics, it has many things to do. This politics, we can also say that in our daily life activities and thoughts we apply. Politics is in our blood, but we think that when we enter into the politics, like we say about election and the propaganda campaigning, we think that these things are only the politics. No, at our home it also we have the this ideology politics. We apply it in our daily life. It's all how we do it, how we analyze our thought processes, how we want our thoughts to be applied in our real life. These are the things. So we cannot say that politics is related only with the power or only with the kursi. In Hindi we say only with the kursi, that is the government. So now when we talk about politics, we can remember the great personalities, their ideologies, like whom? I'll write here. Give me a second. Let me write the names of Mahatma Gandhi, B.R. Ambedkar, and Karl Marx. I'll write about his name too, Karl Marx. I hope it is visible here. So when we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, what we can say? Was he a politician? No, we cannot say that he is a politician. But why his ideologies is relevant right now, in the politics? Why his ideologies are relevant? See, our Bappu, can say Mahatma Gandhi, okay, in their initial stage, he has tried to bring freedom to a country, okay, from the atrocities of the British rule. We all know about this, okay. Then his ideology is to bring equality, okay, to bring social equality, okay, empowerment, society, okay. He want to change the society's activities in that time, so he want to emancipate the minds of the people, okay, just to tell them that they can, okay, they can achieve the freedom from the control of the foreigners, or we can say the British rule, okay. About in Hind Swaraj we can find many of his ideologies and philosophies, how he wanted to, okay, imbibe in their ancient like people ideas or minds or in their lives. So when we talk about B.R. Ambedkar too, he wanted to bring equality for, or we can say the discriminated people, discriminated section of the society. He wants to bring improvement for the caste, that means the downtrodden caste. And Karl Marx, we all know, he wanted to establish a stateless society where the capitalist society does not control the the workers, because in their own perspective period, on their own period, they faced many atrocities, and with that they wanted to come out from that section, okay, from that domination. That's why ideologies of Mahatma Gandhi like to bring the freedom, equality, independent, okay. Then the B.R. Ambedkar, social equality. Karl Marx wanted to bring the stateless society, for that, for the improvement of the society, okay, to bring equality. So can we say that they were the politicians? No, they were not the politicians, but their ideologies are still relevant right now in the present government system, okay. That's why we need to know that the politics, ideologies and the facts, they are very much relevant. That's why we need to study about the political theory. That's why we can find that in the first chapter itself of the first syllabus of the UPSC or the APSC, we can find that this term political theory has been put in the first place. So in the gradually we will understand why this political theory is important. So in this video I will just talk about the small thing about many introduction about this political theory. So let me clean this. So let me put some questions here. Why government are formed or is formed? Okay. Why laws are made? Number C. Thus law brings equality. I'm really sorry since I'm recording this video, okay, in the evening. The light has cast a shadow here, okay. Give me a second, just put off the light. Okay, in the first word we find why the government is formed. We all know why the government is formed, right? See, the government, we can say it's like the institution, okay, institution where different policies, different laws, okay, are being made and implemented for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the country. So these are the things. So why the government is formed, and we can see that government's role in the society, okay, government's role in the society has the huge impact. So these laws that the government made, it can bring a positive conclusion or it can bring the chaos, discrimination. So right now what we see, okay, some of the policies or some of the laws made by the government are not always in line or always in acceptance to the general people or the huge people, Okay, so we hardly have any kind of good like conclusion from the laws that are made by the government which are not in line with us. Now see, presently when we talk about the new policies, that means fee structure for the non-government schools, we can see the fees has been increased. But for that, I believe that before this can be implemented, among the researchers, okay, the researchers should work at the ground level, and they should hold a campaign to ask the parents or the wardens that whether this fee structure can impact their lifestyle, okay, can impact the education of the students. For that, we need to see that. Okay, so these are loads of things that we need to debate, why the government, okay, formed particular laws, and why the implementation of that laws is not always that results to positive attitude of the people. So in B, what we find is why laws are made. Okay, why laws are made. So we can just say that laws are made so that it can bring discipline, or it can bring a kind of good, okay, implementation of the government's policies, so that the people adhere to that policies, people obey that policies for their own betterment, for the good running of the government. Okay, so different types of laws, okay, it might be sometimes positive, sometimes negative. So we can we have to be updated, okay, the farmers' rights, or the women's rights, or the transgenders' rights. So everything we have to look at it and ponder whether these laws are being like applied in a positive manner, or whether these laws are bringing good, okay, good perspectives, okay, of the government. Then what we find is thus law brings equality. Think, okay, think thus laws brings equality. If, let me tell you, if laws brings equality, then why every day we can see the violence, or we can see the contradictory word against the government, or we can see the protest, demonstrations. We can think, okay, so I cannot conclude here what does law brings equality or inequality, but we can say some of the instances, sometimes the laws made by the government, it brings loads of protest against. So for that we need to do research, okay, why these people are against the government's laws, the policies. For that we need a good researchers, good political thinkers. That's why this topic, political theory, it can create a different platform for the people to bring the betterment of the society and the creation of the greater society, or contributions to the society, or we can say the government's close relations with the common people. So we need such kind of people who can in-depthly study about different ideologies, their applications to the real world. That's why in the previous or first I have talked about the interconnection of facts, the values and the politics. Okay, so let me give you one example about the relationship of values and facts. So this is a blank check, okay, right? As this blank check is accepted in any financial institution or bank? No, unless and until values are put here, number values. So that only can bring utility and its practice. That's why what we can conclude here is that values, facts, they are all interrelated. So example, when we talk about values, talk about ideologies. Okay, see, ideologies of Mahatma Gandhi, B.R. Ambedkar, Karl Marx and many more political thinkers. Their ideologies can help in the formation of the policies and laws that can be implemented by the government to bring a different, like in a good way, in a better way, okay, different contribution to the society. And yeah, so here, so in this video I just can say that values and facts they cannot be separated. Both these two terms need to be interrelated so that better applications can be made. So for that we need to encourage the more researchers, more political thinkers to debate or to create a new ideas how they can initiate or how they can improve the policies and laws of the government or any institution. So in the last, what I want to say is that why we need to study political theory. I have already told enough examples or enough facts and values here, like why we need to study political theory. Why? So I want you all to just sit for some time and ponder why we need political theory. See, theory, it has its own like different importance. Facts, it has its own importance, but when they are clubbed together, they can create something new that can bring positivity in the society, okay, or the amongst the people. Now say, political theory, when we study, we can understand about the politics, the ideologies of the government or ideologies of the personalities, and how their values, their ideologies are being put into the practice, and how our today's generation, okay, can celebrate or can enjoy the freedom, the rights, equality that we are enjoying right now. So with this video I want to conclude, okay, in a positive manner. I want you to study this one, okay, just once. You don't need to go in depth for that because I have given enough explanation here. So whatever book you follow, you will find it easier to relate, okay, with my lectures and with your preparation. Okay, so with that I conclude this video, and I hope you all will like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.